about this boat, she's all put back exactly the same as she was when she was built, just shy of 100 years old. She's got the wet well in her, she's got the centre plate in her, the rig is exactly the same as it was when she was launched, all wooden Hue and Pine boat, but all we've done is convert her to a cruising smash so that we can catch fish, sail, and she's habitable.
It's a great thing just to be on the ocean. Like, that's, in a way, that's enough, and probably that's what most people assume is what's happening out here, that we're just bobbing about on the sea, but there's a whole other thing to it, and you really are working on the boat. There's always something that needs fixing, a fish to be cleaned, a meal to be cooked, a repair. There's always a job to do.
We use it for about 8 weeks every year with the family. We generally cruise around Tasmania, do a lap of Tasmania.
When you come to a place like this and do things like this, you suddenly realise why we're all alive. I mean, it all starts to make a bit more sense. But I don't do it often enough, nor do others. You know, there's always an excuse why we're sort of trapped in our own little worlds. But you come out here and there's the sea and the wind and the land and the people. I love it.
The diversity of the Tasmanian cruising is one of the great delights. You can be on the wild west coast catching crays in the sheer granite cliffs, and then in a couple of days' time you can be up the Gordon River walking in amongst the Hue and Pine trees, and the serenity is just fantastic.
Sailing with Tim is not really, you don't go sailing with Tim, you go fishing with Tim, and you use the sails to move the boat.
The crayfish live on the rocky bottom in crevices, and we'll see if we can entice some out of the crevices into our cray pots. Southern rock lobsters. So David, who's in charge, he used to be a cray fisherman, and he's pretty good at it.
You got any pots back here?
No, not yet.
Drop a couple just up here.
It's a pretty good ground back there. Point, you know, what's it like in there?
A bit of a, hard to say. Something there.
Now I think we might go back here too. We're looking for the best bottom we can find. We've never shot pots here before, so don't really know the bottom, but when we came in, just on that point up there was some beautiful little bit of bottom that I saw. It was up and down and looked like it was good.
I'll line the pots up along the deck to go in, and then David will be ready to, or the men, be ready to throw them in on Tim's say-so. It can take a bit of time. He treats it like a serious job, catching crayfish. And my job is to be down on the downstairs plotter, and hopefully they remember to tell me and I mark where the pots go. I keep right out of it. Sometimes I read my book.
We put this in the bait saver because of the crayfish. Can't get at it easily. And put a bit on that he can get at, because you'll see that from the outside and come into the pot. First did this about nearly 50 years ago with my father. That's Tim's uncle. He was a hard bastard.
So we've got some Australian salmon bait in the bait saver and a little bit of fish for them to feast on.
That's where the crayfish will probably live, on the hard rocky bottom. We'll put a couple of pots in here, I think. Okay. Okay, so we put the pot in on the drop off. So just looking for another crack or crevice. Hard bottom here, 17 metres. Looking all right there. It's going to come up very quick here, but we'll put one in here.
Are you going to be stopping around at that sail?
You're going to take it down, yeah. What do you reckon? Sometimes we raft up next to Gary.
Look, with this bloody breeze where it's been, I'd put the pick down.
Oh, we put the pick down, yeah. We get a bloody bullet in here. And
Yeah, but it's summer at the moment, it might be winter again in a quarter of an hour. Sorry, fella. Lived in here for so long.
Oh, you're beautiful. That's perfect. I'll dry it on.
so we've been eating half a dozen or a dozen oysters each, or quite a few nights, and we got these oysters from the fish market in Melbourne Fish Market, and they're Coffin Bay oysters, and they've been in the well ever since we started our cruise. So I'll hook them out. I'm very much love these boats because of the well, and I think it's an absolute crying shame to take the wells out of them. Fair enough, make them a little bit smaller, but our philosophy is to live out of the well. So we fish for the well and we live out of the well. So when we go away for say a fortnight, we might only take 2 meat dishes with us in that fortnight, and everything else, like tonight we're having the gummy shark out of the well and we're having the oysters out of the well. In this boat, it's a vital part of our cruising. Going through the well is the centre plate, and you can see that we're rolling around a little bit now. The centre plate is like putting a stabiliser down. So put the centreboard down. When it's down, she draws about 10 or 11 feet, and that'll completely stop any rock on the boat, or slow it right down. You can see instantly the boat stops moving. Just locks the boat in the water. Bit of a mess today that we're cleaning up from the, got to have been a 50 knot squall that we endured. But we'll work through it, get the sails repaired, and off we'll go in a couple of days. Hopefully the Coffin Bay oysters will still be good. This will be the last of them. We had a couple of sacks of them in the well when we started. I think we had about 10 dozen of them, Yeah, they look perfect to me. And after we shuck the oysters, we'll put a line over and we'll see if we can get a couple of bottom fish. So we're busy, very busy when we put the pick down. So we put a set line down for a gummy shark, or anything really, but we're really targeting a gummy shark here. And looks like a pretty likely place to be able to catch one. So we put a big lump of bait on here, chuck him in the water and have a glass of red wine, and hopefully the reel will go off. We'll put him in the well so that we don't have to eat him tomorrow night, we can eat him the next night. So that's the whole idea. We fish for the well and then we eat out of the well. No freezer, all fresh fish.
Sitting.
Have you had oysters?
I don't like this.
Oh, awesome. I love people that don't like part of the action, you know, he or she is sort of not knocked down, separated from it. Here, boys. Pull it up on the tackle, get the anchor on the tackle because it's too heavy to handle by hand. Boys up. That much pressure on it each time it rolls with the friction on the side of the centre plate case. You got to just get it at that sweet moment between one side and the other side. So that's it with it fully up, so it's nice and flush with the bottom of the boat now. So if we ever get caught on a rock, it'd slide off the rock, it wouldn't hang us up. Got a shark in that one.
Is it like what we call dog shark? Dogfish? Sand shark?
Very important that these boats handle pretty well. We get in very close to the rocks sometimes, and quite often they've come to grief. Laughing here, no problem.
You have to help yourself. I never serve. You know me, David. There's rye bread, butter, rocket. Help yourself. And there's a lot of fish here. There's boiled fish, so please. Crayfish.
Yes, please.
And wasabi mayo and a piece of bread.
Yes, please.
Bit of lemon.
I know, well, I'm a mystery man.
Is it any good?
Always good.
You can complain, you know.
So can I do a Tim sandwich?
Yeah, but spread it. And now we'll get this fish. And we want smaller fish. Normally I have this whole table covered.
Yeah.
Like we did on the way up, Larry. Remember? And the crayfish.
Isn't this enough? Seems enough to me.
Wow.
And we put the rocket, and you need a lid.
Rocker in there.
Rocket.
All right.
Use fingers.
Yeah.
But I would normally just put crispy lettuce and salt and pepper, but that's in the salad anyway. There we go.
That's
And
it.
then you go. Huh? Yeah.
I went to Maine. The first time I had fish chowder in Maine, I thought I'd gone to heaven. I've never tasted anything like it. It was fabulous.
Sally's fish chowder.
Oh, I love chowder. Yeah, but don't forget I'm from England, you know. We just know how to scorch everything. I couldn't cook anything.